Angela Levin, 5 years ago, I broke the story of Megxit. But can we now say that this has been one of the biggest disasters in royal history?
Yeah, you can say that. Absolutely. Why not? I think that it's worked much better for Meghan than it has for Harry. But Harry's sort of fallen down because he hasn't known how to handle it. And he's listened to his wife telling him how wrong everybody is. If you look for the darkness in somebody's behavior, you can build up masses. If you the grayness, you can build up masses. If you try and look at it that, they didn't really mean this, or I'm not used to them, you can actually survive. But I think that he hasn't been able to do that, and that he's very lost. Meghan is very negative. We've seen that with her own family, and she does it with Harry's family, looking for what's wrong, looking for, they should have been paid for that engagement, making things look horrible, and thinking that they're against them. Whereas if you say, look, this is very hard for me to handle because I haven't been here long. Can you tell me, what's good, what's bad? But she knew or pretends to know all that. And Harry has to dislike the people that she dislikes. I think that's how he's felt. And maybe he's changing, I don't know. But I think he's lost everything, really. And I think too much medical help for his mental health problems, it doesn't help either, because he hasn't seemed to let go. I think when you have to, if you drink too much, you have to decide you're not going to before you can get better. And I think that this is similar to this. You have to want to move forward, and that way you can get better. But if you want to keep on hanging on to the back, going back for a long time and saying William had 5 sausages and I only had 4, if you keep on about things like that, you're not going to get anywhere, and the therapies can't make any difference, I think.
Angela Levin suggests that Meghan Markle may now feel she's ready to move on to someone even richer. This implies that Meghan used Prince Harry to gain influence, but now that his status is declining, she may seek a wealthier, more powerful partner. Levin argues that Meghan's ambition outweighs her loyalty, and she has a history of cutting ties with people when they no longer serve her interests, including her own family. Let's be honest. Meghan Markle has always played the long game. First it was Hollywood. Then she found her Prince Charming. But now, with Harry losing credibility, Netflix deals flopping, and the public growing tired of their victim narrative, could Meghan be setting herself up for the next big move?
You have to want it, and I don't think he's been able to understand what that is. And so, to keep on grumbling, and to go back so many years and to keep on finding fault is not going to help him. You have to try and live with it. But as for Meghan, really wanted loads of money and to be extremely well known around the world, which is exactly what she's got. I think that she might feel that she's ready now to move on to somebody even richer. And because she is known very well, although she doesn't take herself off the red carpet quickly, does she? She can stay there as long as possible. She stays there as long as possible so people realize who she is. She goes up and hugs people and kisses them and makes them feel that they're the only ones ever in her life. And so she's okay. There's been no sign of gratitude, not even for her wedding, which was 31 or 32 million pounds. She found mistakes. She didn't want that. She wanted something that was very simple. It was much too much, but she was screaming for it. She has no respect for anybody, really. She seems to get on well with her mother, but other than that, that's about it. The rest is phony. When she has a friend, she loves them. She hugs them. They're wonderful, and then boom, She
Gone.
doesn't need them anymore. Gone. So I
Absolutely,
think
like
she's done
Jessica
okay.
Mulrooney. Ditched.
She's
Jessica Mulrooney. Ditched.
yeah, she's done okay, and Harry absolutely has not, because he doesn't know which area to do and how to work and all that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is you're completely right. She got everything she
It's not a
wanted.
problem.
I mean, what? No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm completely agree with you. But she got everything she wanted. I mean, complete baloney that she didn't want a big wedding ceremony. She just wanted a little quiet wedding. Absolute rubbish. I mean, we saw her first wedding to Trevor Eccleston, but how ungrateful that in the Oprah Winfrey interview they actually not only moaned about the wedding but created this complete fantasy that in fact they had been married secretly away from the public, even though we were paying for the whole thing. But that was just another lie. It was full of lies. This interview is one of the biggest car crashes. Oprah Winfrey lost all credibility after this interview. Angela Levin, I used to be a fan of Oprah Winfrey many years ago, not after this, because she did no journalism whatsoever. She was a propagandist for Harry and Meghan, and it's damaged her career. So she has been a big victim of Megxit as well. But Angela, the thing I think that has been so difficult for Harry is that his causes have only gone backwards as a result of Megxit. As you say, for Meghan, she was a D-list Hollywood actress who no one really knew, who appeared in suits. Okay, she is much more famous, much more successful, living in a much nicer house, which, let's be honest, that's what she wanted. For Harry, his only real successful project remains the Invictus Games, but even that has gone backwards because he no longer has the help of the royal institution to make it the success that it was initially.
Dan Wooten calls Megxit, Harry and Meghan's departure from the royal family one of the biggest disasters in royal history. Levin agrees, saying it has benefited Meghan far more than Harry, who has struggled to find his identity outside the monarchy. She suggests that Harry relies too much on Meghan, listening to her negativity about the royal family instead of maintaining his own relationships. Megxit was never about freedom, it was about power and money. Meghan knew exactly what she was doing. She pulled Harry away from the monarchy, branded herself as a progressive royal, and tried to dominate Hollywood. The problem? It didn't work. Now she's distancing herself while Harry looks completely lost.
But also Meghan's interrupted it,
Yeah.
and she's given the speeches. I mean, she came in 2023, and I think she said she was quite late, and she said, "Oh, told I'm so sorry, I'm late. I had to give my children milk aids, and I had to take the other one to school. Oh, it's so busy." So that is not how you behave at a place like that. And then actually marching in front of some of the people who have been damaged physically or mentally, having run a case, run something and done well. And she went on walking in front of them as if she was at a sort of dress rehearsal for somebody showing off all their clothes. And she was saying da 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 as she walked along, which was very mockery. And she was wearing very, very short shorts. And that's really disgusting in something like that. You have to dress appropriately. You don't do that in front of several soldiers who have been wounded. Sort of terrible. And I think that they're thinking about how to deal with that. But, I think he's like to work with children still a bit more, but he can't seem to do it very often. And he does once a year, once every 6 months. And this is going back to what he used to do before. And so it's very difficult. His friends aren't interested. Some of them wouldn't have anything to do with him because of how he's behaving towards the family. And also the soldiers don't like the way Harry and Meghan is behaving towards the Queen, because they also give so they are there for the Queen. And so they don't really want to be part of something that is no longer supporting the Queen or now the King. And it's difficult. I think he's very, very lost.
Levin claims that Harry's therapy has not helped him move on, as he clings to past grievances. He is stuck in a cycle of resentment, constantly rehashing old complaints, e.g. William got 5 sausages and I only got 4. She argues that therapy only works if the person wants to change, but Harry seems to prefer playing the victim. Harry is stuck in the past, constantly whining about his childhood, the royal family and the media. Meanwhile, Meghan is focused on her next move. At some point he's going to realize he was just a stepping stone in her bigger plan.
He is incredibly lost, and that's the problem, Angela. He doesn't have the same level of respect from the public, far from it. I mean, if we just look at this in a straight numbers fashion, this is where I feel I can justify saying Megxit has been one of the biggest disasters in royal history, because Prince Harry went from being the most popular member of the royal family. I mean, I always thought that was ridiculous, but he used to actually, much loved. Some of those polls, Angela, some of the YouGov survey actually showed him as more popular than the late Queen Elizabeth II. He certainly rated higher on the popularity ratings before he was with Meghan Markle than Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Now, let's be honest, the only people who are really less popular than him are his own wife, Prince Andrew, and sometimes Beatrice and Eugenie. He's one of the least popular members of the royal family. There has never been such a immediate fall from grace.
Yes, because he has been very rude. He's told lies, and he's also been foolish by saying what drugs he took in his book and how many soldiers and the enemy, when he went out to Afghanistan, how many he shot. And people know that that is very dangerous for him to, first one, to stay in America, the second one, not to be attacked or have people looking as an opportunity to attack him. I can't understand how he ever put that there to make his life so difficult. And I would love to know who did it. I don't think he did it. I bet you he didn't read it all afterwards. I just wonder who hasn't helped him out of that, because I think the country is furious with him for doing that, and to do that and then attack the high courts about what they should do and what they shouldn't do.
Oh, yeah, of course. And also, Angela, for me, I think it was the stress he put through the late Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip in their dying days. But Angela, can I just show you his popularity tracker now? It's the type of thing that would make a PR professional absolutely cringe. Look at that. That is a disastrous gap. So this is YouGov. They do rolling polling, but this was all post Megxit. But look how low it's gone. So his fame remains huge. 99% of the British population are, of course, aware of Prince Harry, but his popularity rating, Angela, down to 27%.
Levin says Meghan's main goal was always financial power and global recognition. She wanted to be extremely well known around the world and to amass a fortune. This suggests that she may be planning her next career pivot, possibly into politics, elite circles, or a high-profile new relationship. Meghan didn't leave the royal family because she hated the spotlight. She left because she wanted more power and control over her image. The problem? Hollywood and America are waking up to her game, and her influence is fading fast. Harry and Meghan's brand is collapsing, and Meghan may already be plotting her next move.
Yeah, well, people are, they don't want to be treated by somebody like that, saying things like that about the royal family, or any family. I mean, sometimes I've been in a taxi going to work or something like that, and the guy would say, I wouldn't do that with my family. I wouldn't wash their dirty linen. No chance, mate. And it's not just about the royal family. It's just normal behaviour which they don't like, and they sort of wipe him out. They don't want to know anything more about him. So, he has blackened his position within the royal family and within anybody who cares about their own family. and he's not really done anything about it. It's a very, very difficult
Yeah.
place because he wants to get the king to apologize to how they were treated about Meghan. But I know he tried very hard to help Meghan when she arrived, as did Camilla. She did an amazing meal for her, and Camilla and Meghan barely said a word and wasn't interested. Uh, just
Yeah. And I mean, Charles walked her down the aisle, for goodness
yes,
sake.
exactly.
Angela, let's just, can we just dive a little bit deeper into these figures? Because I find it really fascinating, actually, to look at. I mean, if you look at popularity, even though she's no longer with us, Queen Elizabeth II is still far and away the most popular royal, followed by Catherine, Princess Anne, Prince William, King Charles, Zara, Sophie, Prince Edward. So look, this is how far we have to go down. There's Camilla, 49%, the Duke of Kent, the Duchess of Kent, Lady Louise, Princess Eugenie, Princess Beatrice, and then you get to Prince Harry, who is now, because when it comes to senior royals, no, let's just be honest about it, they do some great work, but no one is really very across Princess Alexandra and the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester. The reason they are quite low down, Angela, is simply because of name recognition. So the only senior well-known royals below Prince Harry now, his own wife, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, with a 23% popularity rating, and then Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, with a 14% popularity rating. It is extraordinary, given he used to top those lists.
Well, people see through things, don't they? I mean, I think it's always wrong to assume that the public are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They can see through things very clearly. You don't have to have degrees. You don't have to learn lessons. You have an instinct, and you know if somebody is really, really not behaving properly. Well, you see it, and you can hear it, and you watch it. And if somebody offers you a huge wedding which you wanted, you say, oh, that was wonderful, then you can go off and not see them again if you don't want to. But to say it's awful and then go on and on and on because you want more and more and more is just shocking.
Harry has lost everything: his family, his reputation, and his credibility. Meghan's endgame was always money and influence. And with the Sussex brand failing, she might be looking for a more powerful partner or career shift. Megxit was never about love. It was about ambition. And now that the Sussex brand is failing, Meghan might be ready to upgrade once again. The question is, will Harry wake up before it's too late?